What's up, class and professor? This is Dylan Christensen with my final project for History of Sparta. So today I'll be playing God of War, Ghost of Sparta, and this follows Kratos and where he relives his past and he needs to find out kind of what happens after he becomes the God of War. Um, he becomes this God of War by killing Ares, so he becomes the God of War after that, and so he's no longer immortal. I think he's like a demigod now. He's stronger than the average human. So in this game, I basically just go on an absolute rampage trying to find out my past. This is Athena right here. She's kind of giving me advice, telling me what to do, and it's my choice whether or not I'm going to listen to her. And I'm a destructive person. I'm just, I was once a well-respected, Spartan warrior, and within inside, but that's gone now. So I am known as the Ghost of Sparta because I'm going through, living my past, seeing what's like trying to figure out, trying to remember what happened. So I saved myself. Oh. So this is kind of just Athena, just like giving light with visions, and this relates a lot to class because it's kind of like the oracles where they tell you things, and these are perceived to be true. The oracle is always true; it always becomes true; it always happens, but not in the way we think that it'll happen, and that's kind of a theme throughout this game. So I had to cut a lot of the action out because I've played about 4 to 5 hours worth of gameplay, and I just need to get the important scenes that connect to the class. So here, there's the undead warriors that are, summoned by Zeus and Ares, and it's foretelling the downfall of, Olympus, and Athens and Sparta. So here I am, just destroying people. This is a really difficult game. Don't mind my me talking in the background of myself talking, but here right now I'm about to go into the death dungeon, the domain of death, which is where Thanatos lives, and it's locked right now. I'm not allowed to go in, but this is where they're imprisoning Demos, my brother, and so since he was taken from me so long ago, it's my job to go protect him and get him back. But
the Temple of Thanatos, the god of death, a vestige of a long-forgotten time. Erected before the rule of the Olympians, this temple was not placed here by mortal hands.
So as you see right here, I try to get into the dungeon right here, but it requires a key. See the death gate. I can't enter this. A world that no mortal dares. He who possesses the school of cures will be granted safe passage. So once I get this, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm definitely going to play the game more so I can, finish the end of the story. But I need to save my brother and get out of here. So right here, I just do a save state. This is just to make sure that if I pause the game or it crashes or something, that I'll still have my spot. I actually downloaded this on my computer, but this is actually a PlayStation portable game. This game came out, I think, around a decade ago, and yeah, so they didn't have this for like PC or Xbox, so I had to download an emulator on my computer, and I recorded the gameplay using like a Windows recording software, and now I'm using the editing functions on my computer to cut up all the all the good stuff that I want. So here I'm entering Poseidon's. I'm attempting to enter Poseidon's temple, and I want to go here basically to reach the city and like find my truths, because I'm still haunted by like the visions of my past. Um,
In the distance stood the Temple of
I'll let this play
Poseidon,
through.
a monument erected by the Atlanteans to the great
So we go
Poseidon
into the
protector,
temple, but
god of the seas.
we have many challenges. So once I actually do enter the temple, I had to fight Scylla, the sea monster, to even get here. But here is the past. It's a flashback of Deimos, my brother, and I, Kratos, were fighting outside. And this, as we learned in class, is kind of a normal Spartan growing up kind of thing. Like every Spartan was raised to be strong, and as you can see here, Kratos is much stronger than his brother. So now it cuts to his mom, and he doesn't actually believe it's his mom at first, but it is some sort of cruel and messed up thing.
My son,
I don't know what happens
it
to
is
her.
me.
I'm not gonna say what happens. I'll just let you guys watch. But so Callisto, his mother,
Your
is
father
she's
brought
dying
me
here,
here.
and
I
she
am
tries to tell him
Kratos.
who his dad is, and she also tells him that his brother is still alive. So that we know that Deimos is still alive. So we know we have to go rescue him now. And
Kratos,
going
you
back to that dungeon back
have
there,
no
it was the
damage
domain
done.
of death. That's where he's being kept by Thanatos.
He lives, trapped in torment, deep in death's domain.
But he's gone. You told me that he was...
I'm sorry. I had no choice but to lie. You must listen now. The Temple of Ares in Sparta holds the secret that will lead to your brother. The road will not be easy, but you must help him. You must, Kratos. He needs you.
This cannot be. Why? Why would you do this?
Your father.
So here she slips up. She reveals. She tries to tell him who his father is, and you'll see the first little clip of it. But she dies, and she starts having like a seizure thing right here. Does not look good. Yeah. So Callisto actually turns into a monster. Now I have to kill my mom. Pretty crazy stuff here. This boss fight was extremely difficult. I cut it out because I died like 10 times maybe. It was so hard. But I eventually did it. And sorry for the gore, by the way. This is a pretty gruesome game. But so I finally killed my beast mother. And here you'll see the cutscene at the end of this. But she actually turns back to normal for a second before she passes.
Finally, I am free. Find your brother, Kratos. Go to Sparta. Find Deimos.
He needs you.
Mother.
So here Kratos kind of realizes that, you know, he's the god of war. All he knows is violence. And this kind of ends him to, you know,
With her last
killing
breath,
his mother.
she released
And
the weight of her burden
not the
and
best
finally
trait in the
found the
world,
peace she had
gonna be
lost.
honest. But see, he gets even angrier here. So now I
For
just go on even
Kratos,
more of a rampage,
the
trying to figure out my
rage was
past, trying to
always
find
palpable.
Deimos, and
Fate
maybe even
had
my
once
father as
again
well.
pushed him to the brink of madness.
So here I'm climbing up the volcano, and once I get to the top, there's a scene. So here I'll tell you guys a little bit about the powers that I have. So the swords on my back there, those are the blades of Athena. These were given to me at the end of God of War, the first game. So
The battle with Philip had shaken the very foundation of Poseidon.
these are really powerful weapons. They basically are my
Atlantis was
main
safe,
fighting attack.
but that mattered little to the ghost of Sparta.
The second power up is Thera's Bane. Thera's Bane. So that's basically it just makes them on fire, and I can rip through metal and stuff. So in this scene, I'm walking through and I see a lot of dead Spartan soldiers. So it's a very off-putting scene to me. And so here I'm just opening up some mana, getting some health for my weapon, um, looking around and stuff. But you saw that pool with all the dead Spartans in it, and I'm a little bit concerned, but we keep moving. I'm gonna open this gate up, and so once I get outside, I hear someone's outside. I'm like, where is this guy? So there's the gate entrance right there with the Spartan helmets above. But here we talk to one of the warriors.
Hold fast, Dominus. We've won the battle. Hold fast.
So here they were destroyed.
We have angered
They
them.
were destroyed by the
The
gods,
gods.
and
He sent a message to all who defy their glory.
I believe this was Zeus
We
and
survived.
Ares.
Spare us.
Um,
She
they kind of
who
just
spared you?
massacred the place, kind of in anger for the ghosts. So here he's saying,
Message.
the ghost of
Ghost
Sparta.
Sparta.
I think this is kind of someone speaking through him.
The labor
I don't believe this
begins.
is him, but
Death awaits the ghost. We'll never get the skull.
and then here he passes.
The skull.
What fools! What fools! And you, the biggest fool of all, Kratos. The ghost of Sparta, the slayer of Ares, and now the destroyer of Atlantis. You should take heed, Spartan. The destruction of Poseidon's kingdom will not bode well on Olympus.
I care
So
little for the gods.
And yet you walk beside them.
I did not ask for the throne of Ares.
You were
here's
given the
Kratos. He's kind
honor
of different
to
because he
rule the
wasn't
gods,
originally a
and
god.
yet you
You
spit
know,
on it like
this
it was
isn't really
dirt.
his, these gods aren't his
Gods may
family.
keep
He
their
does not
honor.
like the gods at all,
I wish
actually.
only to find
Um,
my brother.
Ah,
so he
yes.
does not take advice from this old man here,
Try if you must, but you
but he
will
is
not
going to
succeed.
destroy everything in his
You will
path
never find him. And in
to
the wake
find
of your
his brother.
destruction, you have sunk the only path to your salvation. This is all that awaits you at the end of your journey.
Not before I find Deimos.
Be wise, my son, and turn back now. Do not seek the domain of death.
So he just mentioned the domain of death there, which again is leading back to Thanatos and where his brother is. So here we get a flashback to him and his brother, and kind of like we learned in our history class, like they're just growing up, playing around right now. Like this is just a normal thing for Spartans to do, to spar each other, show how tough they are. You know, it kind of shows some of their message. You know, they do not, when they are fighting, they do not retreat. They will always have honor, and they will fight to their deaths. And this is kind of what Kratos is explaining to his weaker brother Deimos right now. He's pretty serious about this stuff too. You can see why he became the god of war after killing Ares and taking his throne. So here's a flashback on, one of the raids that happened to them. So in this final clip I'm going to show you is something we learned in classes, the honor of a Spartan. So here Kratos comes across this dying Spartan soldier, and he tells him that he didn't tell him where he was, and he's been fighting to his death. And you can see that Kratos, as a previously Spartan soldier, he says, you did a good job. Like, you see, even in death, you stand tall for battle. He appreciates, him as a soldier and what he's done for Sparta. And this is something that we've talked about in Spartan society, where they will fight till their deaths in honor. They would rather die in honor than live a coward. So that's kind of everything I have for this video. I'd like to thank So that's kind of gonna wrap it up for my first walkthrough of God of War, Ghost of Sparta. As you can see, there were many foretellings. Obviously, it's not, realistic in the sense that I'm fighting demons and monsters and gods, but that was a part of Spartan history, and kind of what how the history was told, and even though it may not be true, there is a lot of historic value to it, and so like definitely like the oracles. I want to find out more about Deimos and what happens to him, and so yeah, so we'll see that in my next walkthrough. This video has kind of inspired me to play more, and I will definitely be doing more of these. So thank you guys for watching.